Hello and welcome. All right, so we are coming into a close on this facility. I have an atmospheric miner over there, the gold miner, or how do I phrase this? Precious resource miner over there, the excavator over here. So the only real small ships that I have left to do is I wanted to get a small transport. So the goal of this would be to have something that can land on top of this, something that can land on top of this, and something that fits inside my hangar. Um, so I've been doing some experimenting around with this and came to the conclusion that, well, I really want to have something that can carry a lot of weight. Like, you know, for instance, my atmospheric miner can carry about 40,000 liters of ore. Trying to get something that can carry more than that means that it fails the criteria fitting on this. So instead, I want to go ahead and build a small transport and make this more of like a, oh, I need to go pick up some groceries or small amounts of material, transport it back and forth, or be able to empty, say, one of the drills on the excavator in case I need to do a few runs back and forth to make sure that I can actually lift that. This would also be a ship that would be ideal for setting up as a drone later on, but I'm not entirely sure I'm going to do drones. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. So step one is going to be grabbing my connector. And we'll build that. There we go. And let's go ahead and call this a light transport, or LT, and lock that in place. All right, so let's see here. The biggest problem that I have had with my other designs is that it's just too big around. So I want to go ahead and stack as much as I can vertically as possible. So let's go ahead and just grab two large cargo containers and stack them on top of each other. And that will be all of my cargo. And if that's not enough, then I guess I'll just have a bad day. All right, so right now this is about 30,000 um, liters cargo capacity, with or about it's base. Each one of these is basically the same size as a large grid small cargo container. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to get enough thrust. So with my atmospheric miner, I have three large um, thrusters and then a bunch of small ones, and that's 40,000 liters base capacity. So if I do four large Atmos, there's a way that I can style this to make it look cool and interesting. Let's see. Step one, let me go ahead and grab a bunch more steel plates. Um, so I have a little bit of a lip here. Yes, my survival level is 2 because I managed to kill myself on my own equipment already. Again. Let's see here. If I go with this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just run that around the sides. Come on. There we go. And give me just a moment to go deal with some puppies. Alright. Puppies dealt with. So let's see here. What's the next thing that I want to do? If I come into here, I can, yeah, form a little square, and then I will be able to kind of work up from here. Alright, so now that I've got that, let's go ahead and toss these little half blocks on, and then my corners. And then we'll weld that up really quick. Oh, hey. Blown out my inset light a little bit. Alright, so with that, now what I kind of want to do is I want to go up and then slope out a little bit and then put a pair of large Atmos on each side. So let's go ahead and just do this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Alright. And then I want to actually let's come out 2 tiles, I think. So I want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Then I can do and then let's go ahead and stick some more on. Alright, so basically just kind of slopes out and then does that. Let's see here. Do I want to just do a straight line out? I don't think I do. I want it to kind of go up and then curve out. So if I do that, that means that I need to And then I can, if I figure out my rotations, do this. And then I can curve back. Alright, so basic idea is it's going to go up. Alright, let's weld this up and see what it looks like. Alright, grab that. And then alright, so looking at it from the front, okay, so I've got this going on. I can probably go ahead and stick like a battery in there. So if I come in here and I do and I think the warfare battery would look better in this spot. Okay. Let's go ahead and stick another battery below it. There we go. Am I okay with seeing that, or do I want to try and cover it at all? Because I could just do that straight line down. Let's see how that would look with the batteries in there now. Yeah, so it goes up, angles out just a little bit, and then pokes its way out. And then I can come in here. I cannot put that there because then the thruster would blow it up. But that still does leave me able to go ahead and do this. Um, Actually, if I do this one, well, there we go. All right, I'm liking it so far. Now, where do I want to stick the cockpit? So I'm going to have four of these. So basically, I'm going to mimic this on this side. Um, and then I'm going to see here. If I do that on this side, let me just keep kind of building out this front corner here. Let's see here. I think this one really needs the industrial cockpit. How am I going to kind of integrate that in? Ooh, actually, let's do this. And then I can stick the industrial cockpit in right there. And then just kind of slope around that some. Okay. Liking it so far. Now let's go ahead and keep working on that. And then all right. And then if I come in here, all right. And now I've built up a nice little spot. Actually, if I come in here and I take these out, I can now fit this in right here. Let's see here. And then from here, if I do this,
Energy low.
there we go. So a very vertical, almost looks like a little egg. And then I can just kind of repeat this on the back side, um, right over here. And but rather than having the little jut out for this, I will go ahead and just stack some side thrust on. All right, so now that I got the basic design down, let me go ahead and take a few minutes to kind of finish putting that together, and I'll be back in just a sec. Alrighty then, we are back for a little bit. So as you can see, I've finished out this side. I did put a little inset light in there. I've got a floodlight right there, forward-facing fan, and then a repeat on this side. Additionally, if we peek in under here, you can see I stuck in my event controller and my action relay, so I can go ahead and have that all hooked up. I have not put the antenna on yet, though, so that is coming. So that brings us around to the, well, actually, there's two things that we need to talk about. First is whether or not we want to go ahead and leave these exposed, or we want to wrap them in armor. I'm kind of thinking leave them exposed, but I could see arguments either way. The big thing, though, is that this lines up with this. So if I were to put something around this, then it would have to stop right there, and then we would be able to see in through the little gap there. So because of that, I'm thinking that we just go ahead and leave these exposed. I could also see going ahead and like getting rid of that light and kind of like wrapping around on this side. But I think I'm just going to keep it as it is right now. Then when we come up to the top, you can see I've left the top exposed so far. I'm going to probably go ahead and bury some gyros in there or something. Not entirely sure what. Ooh, actually, buried gyros. I could cut out some of these one by ones for that. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and I think I'll do 6 gyros. Should be more than enough. I could actually probably get away with a lot less than 6, but you know. And then, as you can see, I have started to go ahead and put in some side thrust here. Um, oh, actually, so if I put the gyros there, actually, they're going to be visible. Um, hmm. Basically, those 3 tiles are where the fan is going to be. Does that change where I want to put them? I could go ahead and put gyros kind of like right in here. Yeah, yeah, let's do that. We'll go ahead and put these back. Because I will have the atmospheric fans right here. No, sorry, this one. No. And that lines up with the bottom of that. Yes. Okay. And then if I wanted to, I could even go ahead and stick one in the middle. Ooh, actually, if I do it like this, Okay. I can't stick another side thrust right there, but I could go ahead and ooh, actually, I could stick them in right here. And just change this out. And just stick a pair of them on right here. And then that's also going to change how I come out with this. But I could do um, yeah, so let's go ahead and just kind of weld that up. And if I'm going to do that, then I need to go ahead and bring this up at a different angle. So I can do something more like this. Hang on a second here. Cat, if you unplug my stuff, I'm... Alright, you are kicked off the desk. No unplugging my monitor, please. Alright, cats aside, I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so this would be like a perfect 45 angle, but I don't like those, so if I do this, alright, there we go. And then I can just kind of tuck that in just a little bit. With that there. That there. There we go. That also means that I kind of want to go ahead and change this out. Let's not fall all the way to the bottom again. Let's see here. Oh, perfect. And then I can come up here and grab this. And then here I can grab this one. There we go. And then right here is going to be this piece. Nope, it's going to be this piece. All right, there we go. So far, options are between Humpty Dumpty and the egg. All right. Well, let me go ahead and finish up with that, and then I'll do that later. Let me go ahead right now and see what we're doing for the backside of this. Let's see here. Can I stick a gyro in here? Perfect. Actually, I can just make this whole row my gyros. And then just kind of cover that up like that. And then alright, so here I want to go ahead. Actually, let's go ahead and do this one. And then if I do this, that will tuck those in. So 1, 2, so I've got 4 to the side, each side, 2 front, 3 back. Alright, so let me just keep working my way up this. And I think if I do let's see, what do I got on that side? I can place this one with the that's right there. Oh, I see. Then I need this piece right here. Oh, not this one. Ow. There we go. There we go. Alright, and that's going to let me more or less copy that on over. So that's how I will go ahead and do the little hump on the back. So basically, gonna repeat that on this side, and then I will come back and probably do something very similar in that middle section. Um, base, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and run. Nope, nope, nope. I need to bump out just a little bit here. Because when I come to this, then I can come to here. Actually, let's go one higher. As that is the same height, and then here to kind of match what's on the front, we would do that. And then like that. And that will kind of match up with what I've got going on there, but the back will just be slightly flatter. Okay, so more or less know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off screen, so that way you don't have to watch me weld a whole bunch of blocks, and I will be right back. Alrighty then, so let's go ahead and take the quick tour. Um, Definitely very much egg-inspired shape. At least that's what I'm thinking about when I look at it. Um, if you got other ideas, by all means, let me know. There's one last thing that we need to stick on, and I left one hole right up at the top for my antenna. So let's go ahead. Stick that on. And now let's take a look here. So we do a quick search for LT, switch lock, and batteries. Let's just go ahead. These are all in recharge mode, so let's change them to auto, and then let's disconnect. Okay. Now let's go ahead and rename all of this. No, not exe. LT. Control C. Alright. So, I will go through and rename all of this and be right back. Alright, renaming is done, so let's go ahead and set up our event controller. So I want to do connector connected with this. Select actions. When we are connected, I want to go in, and I don't need any of that, so I just need to play with one of the groups. Batteries set to recharge on, batteries set to enable auto, lights set to toggle off, lights set to toggle on, thrusters set to off, thrusters set to on. Is there anything else that I need to mess around with? No. So then I need to set my action relay here for open hanger, and then close the hanger, and that should be all the automation that this one needs. Alright, so let's go ahead. We fit out. But if we're looking at it realistically, we fit in and out a lot easier by doing it this way. Like, that's not even close. And then I can just kind of scooch on over here. And my controllers are all set up. Turn and go up. Now let's come on over to this little thing. Actually, let's come on over. Whoa, that is a lot of gyro. Come on over here to the excavator. And we will go ahead and take a there we go. Alright, we are connected to the excavator. We fit perfectly. Let's hop out. Okay, well, that wasn't quite where I wanted to be, but, you know, close enough. And I can walk all the way around it, which is nice. And now let's go ahead and take a full load of stone back. Alright, so we have liftoff. We successfully managed to fly with a full load. So let's go ahead and head on over to our tower here. And then, woo! Might be a bit too much gyro in this thing for what it's doing. And then let me go ahead and rotate a little bit. Lock on. And then let's get in really quick. And let's look up ore. Sorter. You know what, let's shift all the sorters to drain all. And now, when I come in here, yep, we can see that it is a draining stone. Perfect. And with that, I will go ahead and turn my refineries back on. And there we have it. We've got a nice little drone. Well, not a drone, but it could very easily become a drone. That can go ahead and run back and forth between the excavator or maybe another base, and it will haul about 30,000 liters with each run. So realistically, I don't have anything else that I need to do with that right now. And I have at least temporarily called it the dropper. So that means, oh, I may do this. Close the hangar. There we go. Alrighty, so that is it for that. At this point now, I need to go ahead and make my loading zone for large ships or large grid rovers. I'm not entirely sure which. And then I need to start scouting for a new base, which might involve building another little ship. So, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.